300 years ago, obesity was attractive.
300 years ago, the most powerful status symbol in the world wasn't gold, diamonds, or silk. It was body fat. In the early 1700s, across Europe, Asia, and even parts of colonial America, a large stomach meant one thing: survival. While peasants worked from sunrise to sunset and still went to bed hungry, wealthy people displayed their size like a crown. In some kingdoms, rulers were praised for their enormous bodies because weight meant access to food during a time when famine could wipe out entire villages in weeks. Today, people spend billions trying to lose weight. Back then, people prayed to gain it. And the reason why reveals one of the biggest psychological flips in human history. In 1315, Europe was hit by what historians now call the Great Famine. Endless rain destroyed crops across the continent. Wheat rotted in the fields. Livestock died. Parents abandoned children because they couldn't feed them. Some historical records even describe people digging up graves searching for food. This wasn't a short disaster. It lasted for years and killed millions. For centuries afterward, hunger remained humanity's constant shadow. Most people lived one failed harvest away from death. So when people saw someone overweight, they didn't think lazy. They thought safe, fat, became visual proof that a person had power over nature itself. Paintings from the Renaissance secretly reveal this obsession. Look closely at portraits of nobles from the 1500s and 1600s. Their faces are round. Their bodies are soft. Artists intentionally emphasized fullness because thinness was associated with sickness, poverty, and even plague. In fact, one of the strangest beauty standards in European history was pale skin combined with visible weight. Pale skin showed you didn't work outside. Body fat showed you could afford endless food. Together they screamed wealth louder than jewelry ever could. But this idea wasn't limited to Europe. In ancient China during the Tang Dynasty, around the 7th to 10th centuries, fuller women were considered the ideal of beauty because abundance symbolized prosperity and harmony. In parts of Africa, large body size became linked to fertility, family status, and social importance. Some cultures even had fattening rooms where brides were intentionally fed large amounts of food before marriage because thinness was seen as undesirable. The modern world often acts like beauty standards are natural, but history proves they change constantly depending on survival, economics, and fear. And fear shaped everything. During the 1700s, sugar transformed from a luxury for kings into an addictive global industry built on colonial trade and slavery. Suddenly, wealthy families consumed shocking amounts of calories that ordinary people could never access. Cakes, pastries, chocolate drinks, and refined bread became symbols of status. Being visibly larger wasn't accidental anymore. It became performance. Kings hosted enormous feasts not just to celebrate, but to display dominance. If a ruler could eat extravagantly while the poor starved outside palace walls, it proved control over resources. Food became political theater. Then the Industrial Revolution changed the human body forever. By the late 1800s, factories replaced farms. Machines reduced physical labor. Railroads transported food faster than ever before. For the first time in history, ordinary workers in some countries slowly gained access to cheaper calories. And something strange happened. The rich started getting thinner. Why? Because once food became more available, body fat stopped being rare. Wealthy people needed a new way to separate themselves from the masses. That's when thinness began transforming into a status symbol. Suddenly, having a slim body suggested discipline, self-control, leisure time for exercise, and access to healthier foods. The meaning of fat and thin completely reversed within just a few generations. One of the biggest turning points happened in the 1920s. Fashion exploded across Europe and America. The ideal female body shifted dramatically from the curvier Victorian image to the thin flapper silhouette. For the first time, magazines began aggressively promoting dieting. Cigarette companies even marketed smoking as a way for women to stay skinny. One famous slogan literally said, "Reach for a lucky instead of a sweet." Imagine that. Corporations were reshaping beauty standards to sell addiction. Then Hollywood amplified everything. In the 1950s and 60s, movie stars became global beauty templates. Cameras favored slimmer appearances. Television entered millions of homes and quietly standardized what people considered attractive. By the 1980s, fitness culture exploded. Aerobics tapes, bodybuilding, calorie counting, and diet industries turned body image into a billion-dollar business. For most of human history, people feared starvation. Now millions feared weight gain more than hunger itself. But here's the part almost nobody talks about. Modern beauty standards aren't only about appearance. They're deeply connected to economics again, just like centuries ago. In many wealthy countries today, highly processed unhealthy food is often cheaper and more accessible than fresh, nutritious food. This creates a strange reversal where obesity rates are frequently higher among poorer populations, while wealthier groups have more access to personal trainers, organic foods, cosmetic procedures, and time for fitness. The same body that once symbolized privilege can now signal economic struggle. Depending on where you live, history flipped upside down, and social media accelerated the change. To an extreme level, humans were never mentally prepared for. A peasant in the Middle Ages compared themselves to maybe 100 people in their village. Today, a teenager compares themselves to millions of edited faces and bodies online every single day. Beauty standards now evolve faster than at any point in human history. Trends appear and disappear in months. One decade idolizes extreme thinness. Some historians believe future generations will look back at our obsession with body image the same way we look back at ancient corsets or foot binding, as a bizarre pressure created by society, technology, and economics rather than true beauty. Because the truth is, humans rarely choose beauty standards consciously. Survival chooses them first. Culture simply follows. Even biology plays a role. Thousands of years of evolution trained the human brain to crave sugar, fat, and calories because those things once kept us alive during famine. Our bodies are still running ancient survival software inside a modern world overflowing with food. That's why obesity rates rose so dramatically after the 20th century. Human biology couldn't adapt fast enough to industrial food production. In a way, modern supermarkets are more unnatural to our brains than medieval forests. Scientists are already developing personalized nutrition based on genetics. Artificial intelligence can alter faces and bodies instantly online. Some researchers believe future medicine could dramatically slow aging or even control metabolism. Imagine a world where people can edit their appearance as easily as changing clothes. What happens to beauty standards then? If everyone can look perfect digitally, will authenticity become the new luxury? Will natural aging become rare? Or will society eventually reject impossible perfection entirely? There's another hidden possibility. Climate change and global food instability may reshape human values again. Throughout history, scarcity always changed what people admired. If resources become unstable in the future, beauty standards could shift in completely unexpected directions, just like they did after famine centuries ago. The most shocking truth is this. Almost every beauty standard humans fight over today would confuse people from another century. Medieval peasants would think modern runway models looked dangerously sick. Modern influencers would probably shock Renaissance aristocrats with their obsession over thin waists and gym-defined bodies. Every generation believes its beauty standards are permanent. History proves they never are. 300 years ago, a full stomach was worth more than jewelry because it meant you survived in a brutal world. Today, self-control over food often signals status instead. But both ideas were created by the same force, scarcity. Humans don't just change beauty standards randomly. We build them around whatever is hardest to obtain, and maybe that's the real question no one asks. If beauty is always shaped by what society lacks, then what does our current obsession reveal about the world we live in right now? Because 100 years from now, people may look at us the same way we look at the past, shocked by what we once called beautiful.